The one-pass facing toolpath should be used when the face milling cutter has a large enough diameter to machine the entire surface in one pass. I'll use this part to demonstrate this technique. From the 2D toolpaths, I'll select facing. Next, I'll select this edge on the top of the part. Scroll down and select propagate along tool plane and accept this selection. Because I'm using the one-pass cutting method, Mastercam will position the cutter center on the center of the face. With the 2D toolpath facing window now open, I'll select the Tool tab. Like all toolpaths, I'll follow the same steps. So next I'll click the Select Library tool, then Filter. Because a face was the last tool I used, it will be the current active tool type. However, I do not recall my part sizes, so in the tool diameter section, I'll choose the drop-down menu and select greater than. I'll right-click in the yellow field and select L equals the length of an entity. Now I'll select this bottom part edge, since the face mill must be greater than the diameter, than the line in order to machine this part in one pass. And I can see that this part is 3 inches wide, so I know I'll need a face mill larger than 3 inches. I'll accept this search criteria and exit back to the search results. I can select the 4-inch cutter and accept this selection. For this material with a carbide insert face mill, I'll set the cutting speed to 1100 feet per minute. The feed per tooth to 0.1. The plunge rate to 20 inches a minute. And then I'll add the comment in all capitals to machine the top surface. Now that the tool parameters are set up, I'll select Cut Parameters and set the style to one pass. As you saw before, the graphic will update to show reasonable representation of the toolpath. Since this is a single pass, the across overlap is grayed out, and I can set the other values as I normally would. I'll set the along overlap to 4.1 and the approach and exit distances to 2.1. Next, I'll set the stock to leave on floors to 0.0. Since this part only has 1/16 of an inch and there is only one to make, I'll remove all the material in 2 passes with this one cutter. I'll select the Depth Cuts tab, make certain that it's enabled, and I'll set the maximum rough step to 0.1, the number of finish passes to 1, and the finish depth to 0.02. Next, I'll select the linking parameters. These default values are fine. The incremental depth of 0 tells the system that the tool depth of cut is equal to the Z level of the geometry I selected. The top of stock is 1/16 above the part 0. The feed plane will be 0.2 above the top of stock, or 0.2625 above the Z0. The retract plane will be 0.25 above the top of stock, or 0.3125 above Z0. Now I can select the Coolant tab and enable the flood coolant and accept these selections. Looking at the cut lines, I can see there are 2 passes. I'll select the Verify and check that I'm happy with the toolpath. To visually ensure the tool does not feed down into the part, I'll right-click in the graphics area and select the front view. I'll select the step button here after I roll my middle mouse wheel to zoom out a bit until the cutter can be seen. Now I'll step the simulation so that I can see the cutter does feed down in air. I'll continue to press the step button to ensure that the tool movements are fine. At this point, I'll exit the simulator and save my work.